Right, in this video I'm going to show you how to draw a cube using isometric projection. You will find that isometric projection is a very useful projection for creating and in subsequent drawing. The reason being that you have you are able to see all the three dimensions equally much. Now, the first thing you ought to know about isometric projection that isometric projections are made up of three basic reference lines, as shown here. Normally we call them L1, L2 and L3. You find that all the straight lines will fall into one of these reference lines, okay, L1, L2 and L3. L2 is perpendicular to the horizontal, while L1 and L3 are 30 degrees from the horizontal. Right. Whenever you draw isometric cube, you've got to bear in mind these reference lines as you sketch. Right. Now, another thing that you need to know about sketching isometric cube would be the technique that we use to sketch. The technique we use is known as GPO. What does GPO stand for? It stands for guidelines, proportion, and outline. As I sketch the isometric cube, you'll find that I will make use of guidelines, proportion, and outline to sketch the cube. Right. Now, first, how do we start? We start by sketching our guidelines. Now, first of all, choose the pencil tool, alright, and you can resize the pencil tool by using the resizing option over there and get it to resize to 0.7. Okay, you can test your pencil. Okay, you will notice that for your pencil you can have different pressures. You should be used to sketching very light lines all the way to very dark lines. So when we draw guidelines, we would be using the extremely light lines the lightest line that you can produce, and for outlines we would be using the darkest line that you can produce. Okay, just let me get this out of the way. Okay, so first of all, we sketch the guidelines of the isometric cube, taking to reference the reference lines of isometric projection. Okay, so here we go. Now, you do not, using the very light lines, you do not have to worry whether or not you got it right. Okay, so basically I'm trying to get the very light lines using guidelines. Okay, I'm trying to follow as much as possible the reference lines as shown. The next stage I will do is to try to get the proportion right. I have to look at the cube and see if does it still look like a cube. If it doesn't, then I will try and get the proportion right by continuing to draw using very light guidelines. Okay, you notice there's no line. There are a lot of lines going on here, but do not worry, do not use your eraser to erase, because you would need them to see the mistakes that you have done. Okay, once you are happy with the cube that you have drawn, the next step would be to show the outline. Okay, the outline, you have to apply a little bit more pressure on your pencil and get the lines up. Now, you notice I'm trying to darken the lines that I want from the guidelines that I've drawn. Right? Now, do not do chicken scratching. What is chicken scratching? Now, chicken scratching is this. You know, you do very short, fast lines. This is what we call chicken scratching. We avoid using this. Okay, instead, when you see a line, you draw it, and if you miss it, you try and draw it again. Okay, and try to get it as much as possible. Okay, this is what I mean by chicken scratching. Okay, so no chicken scratching, right? Okay, get this off. Okay, once you're happy with your cube, okay, once you've darkened your cube and you're happy with it, we can have some finishing touches. You notice that over here it should be 30 degrees and 30 degrees. Okay, you can finish up your isometric cube by having you know, some shading over here. You can just do something like this to show that the cube sits on something. And there you have it, your very first isometric projection. And thank you for watching, and I hope you've learned something from this video.